We're live again. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again for one of our last sessions today for our Day of Action and Healing. Just to remind folks, my name is Kai. I use they, them pronouns. I'm the interim regional field director here at Planned Parenthood Pennsylvania Advocates. It's been really wonderful hosting this event and this Day of Action and Healing with you all. And I'm really excited to introduce our last guest, a volunteer storyteller, singer, songwriter. Sofia is here. She's based in Pittsburgh, and she's here to share her story. So, Sofia, I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to go on mute, and I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay. All right. All right. So here's my story. Okay. So I was, hi, everybody. By the way, I was 23 and I was married and working part time and going to school full time in California. And I only realized I was pregnant because I had this different kind of nausea. It was actually to food, and which was different for me. And I'll talk about that later. So, and it was just a little bit more intense and all that kind of stuff. So it was like, so I took a pregnancy test and then I found out I was pregnant. And it was really a surprise to my husband and I because we were adamant about using protection. And because, we were working and in school, and like the last thing that we wanted at that time, and we were really young. The last thing we wanted at that time was a child, and that was just not the time. I mean, we were like in our early 20s. And the other thing is that we were in California. We were supporting ourselves. We didn't have like this big group of family around to be helping us, and emotionally and financially. And um in California was expensive. So there was just like, there's no way we would be able to do it. And unless I stopped going to school and, became a full-time, mom, a caretaker and mom, and which is great, but not at the age that I was. Um, so, we decided, okay, we're going to get an abortion. And I was really tentative because, I was really scared about the shame. Once I really got to it, it was the shame. And now, at the age that I am now, I realize that shame is something that is so prevalent to the human experience. And anything that we can do to recognize it and be like, just say, no, no more of this is really important. And women have so much of it. And people who are just, just in general, the human experience, everybody across the board, we all have this shame, not feeling good enough or whatever it may be, or we're imposters or whatever. And I just didn't want any more of it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take a breath. And I called him, and my husband was he was right there. And I explained, and they were like, okay. And they just said, you know, they asked me, is somebody going to be coming with you? Do you have safe transportation? How are you right now? And they really cared about, where I was right then and there, and that day that I was going to be taken care of. And I went in that day, and it was the same kind of situation, same kind of environment, very caring, very compassionate. The doctor was amazing. And I was ready for this big traumatic experience. And I was going to walk out feeling guilty and all this kind of stuff. And I walked out, and it was the 180. It was completely different. It was, I felt relieved. My husband felt relieved. We were like, yeah, we felt really good. We're like, okay, that was the right decision. And so grateful that I had I could make that choice, and without, having to feel, like whatever, having to feel like I'm breaking the law or that I'm a criminal. So that was my experience. And so now, I'll get back to wait 1 second. Let me just, I'll get back to the nausea. So I am a survivor of incest and other sexual abuse. So nausea is a real big part. Was a big part in time. Now that I'm older, not so much. But nausea was a huge part of my existence, because if I put anything on that remotely felt revealing, And it didn't even look revealing. It could have been a pair of pants that were just slightly tighter than normal, or maybe a shirt that kind of revealed some of my shoulder. I would immediately feel nauseated, and I'd have to sit down, or I'd have to just take a moment. But I knew how to deal with it because it was so prevalent in my life. Um, so the nausea wasn't a big sign for me. So I wasn't able to tell, like, oh, I'm pregnant. So when people say, oh, you should get, right when you should be able to, but not me, not everybody is a survivor, but I'm not saying that's my story. But that was my story. I didn't know because, the signs were all normal for me. My life was normal. But I just want to say that I had a family dream to have a healthy, grounded, compassionate, and strong family, because what I came from was it was hard. It was a really hard upbringing. So, you know, and so a core value to me was to put my family first. And I really did want to have kids. So, um, if I wasn't able to finish my education and grow greater strength in my healing, I was not going to be able to be like financially and most of all mentally, spiritually stable to be the mom I am today. I pride myself on the mom I am today. And so this was the dream like I had for my future family with my husband. And, I really wanted to be ready to be a parent. I didn't want it to be thrusted upon me because it's a huge decision. Huge. I mean, it's a game changer. It's life, next chapter for the rest of your life, you know? And so now as a parent, and I was older, I was 35 when I gave birth to my first child. Now as a parent, I made the right choice, you know, for I continue to put my family first. And I absolutely love and appreciate the life energy that it takes to raise a human being. I'm tired every single day, and I'm okay with it most of the time. so, you know, and I love being a mom. I'm very proud of it. I'm really proud to say, like, what do you do in life? I'm a mom, that's my first thing, and it wasn't until I reached my late, to mid 30s that I felt more grounded, like I said, to have a child, and I felt that I was healing. I was healing from my past traumas enough. And I'm grateful for the time now that I can navigate those scars in the past while being fully present and dedicated as a mom, a partner, and now as a community member. So that's my story. so I'm also a musician, and I'm an enraged person right now, and I'm grateful for my music too, because I was able to write a song that helped me put my rage into words and a poem kind of, and I hope that it helps you all sing, maybe dance, and maybe laugh a little bit and smile while we're all walking through this marathon and supporting each other. Um, the other thing about the song, it's called Hands Off. And it was a few people said to me, why don't you write Bands Off? And I think Bands Off is awesome. And I actually refer to it at the end of the song. But for me, I wanted to keep hands off because for me, the laws and the bands are like hands. They're not just words. It's as if, they're putting their hands on my life, and most of all on my kids' lives, and then this next generation that this is going to affect. And so I kept hands off because that's how visceral it is for us. It's that visceral. It keeps us up at night. You know, so that's it. Okay. And I think we're going to be playing the tune shortly here. So if you hang on.
Thank you so much, Sophia. I know I speak for myself and the staff, and I'm sure so many of our supporters, and in saying that we're just so appreciative and grateful and very privileged to have you in this space with us. So
I
your
feel the same way.
story,
Go
yeah, your story will have so many ripple effects, and I'm so grateful that you shared it with us. So thank you so much. And yeah, like Sophia said, stay tuned, everybody. We're going to be playing her beautiful song soon. So we'll touch back soon.
ahead.
Bye, y'all.